The camera opens over a city at dawn. The sky, still gray, is cut by the first lines of golden light. The streets are silent, only the distant sound of hurried footsteps and old engines echoing between the buildings. It is in this setting that we discover the story of an ordinary man, a specialist in human behavior who spent years studying how the mind can be reprogrammed to create wealth. His journey does not begin at the top, but at the bottom. In debt, living in a small apartment with damp walls and the cold echo of loneliness, he knew he needed to find answers. It was in this environment of scarcity that his first discovery emerged, the power of daily affirmations. He wrote phrases like, "I am prosperous," and "money flows to me" on scraps of paper, stuck them to his mirror, and repeated them out loud. At first, it seemed ridiculous, but over time, he noticed the words shaping his confidence. The reflection in the mirror was no longer that of a defeated man, but of someone who believed in new possibilities. As the sun rose higher above the city, the second practice emerged: creative visualization. He walked through busy streets, staring at the windows of luxury stores he had never dared to enter. In his mind, he was already buying, wearing, living that reality. The mental images became so vivid that his body responded with the feeling of abundance. And that's when coincidences began to appear. Unexpected invitations, work opportunities, contacts that once seemed unreachable. But the journey was not linear. At one point, life tested him with painful losses, a last-minute canceled contract, friends who doubted him, days when he didn't even have money for transportation. In those moments, he discovered the prosperity journal. Every night, even when he had almost nothing, he wrote down 5 reasons to be grateful. Sometimes they were small things: a coffee offered by a friend, a forgotten book left on a park bench. And with each line written, he realized abundance was already present, even in the simplest details. The turning point came when he confronted his most painful beliefs. On a yellowed sheet of paper, he wrote, "Money is hard to earn." This phrase had followed his family for generations. Just below, he wrote a new version: "Money can come from many sources, and I am worthy of receiving it." He repeated this practice every day until the old voice of scarcity began to fade away. The specialist also practiced what he called the 5 minutes of wealth. He would sit in silence, close his eyes, and imagine he already possessed a fortune. Not just the money, but the freedom. He would ask himself, what would I do today if I already had everything I desired? These small doses of imagination began to influence his daily decisions. Bolder choices, more aligned projects, stronger attitudes. In the silence of the night before falling asleep, he listened to recordings of prosperity affirmations. The repetitive voice seemed to penetrate his subconscious, as if invisible seeds were being planted. Months later, he realized he no longer reacted the same way. Instead of fear, there was clarity. Instead of doubt, there was action. And perhaps the most powerful secret was the wealth attitude. He learned to walk tall, speak with confidence, give even when he had little. This posture began to change how the world saw him. Clients sought him out, doors opened, invitations appeared. The universe seemed to respond to the new version he had chosen to embody. What once seemed impossible became inevitable. From that damp apartment, he built solid businesses, helped thousands of people, and became a reference in the field of prosperity. But more than material wealth, he achieved something even rarer: the certainty that we are capable of creating, with discipline and faith, the reality we desire. His story is not about luck, but about simple practices which, when repeated with consistency, hold the power to transform destinies. And now these secrets are right in front of you. The question is, will you have the courage to apply them in your own life? And this is where the story connects with you. Because deep down, the journey of this specialist is not just about him. It is about every person who dares to believe they can reprogram their mind for wealth. Now I want to know, which of these practices do you believe could transform your life in the deepest way? Write your answer in the comments below, because your perspective might inspire others who are walking the same path. If this story touched you in any way, remember this: your participation is essential for us to keep bringing transformative content. So, like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear this message, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the upcoming episodes. And before you go, I have a special invitation. Watch the next recommended video on your screen right now. There, you will discover another powerful secret that can completely change your relationship with prosperity. Because the journey does not end here. It is only just beginning.